Could you give me examples of what you were unlearning?
That my self-worth is not attached to my relationship status.
For sure.
Those same people who expected me to carry on that marriage, they're not around now to pay my bills.
So how did you manage the financial pressure? Because at that point, you probably felt like everything is on you. How did you deal with that?
I didn't.
So when Arnav looks at you now, what do you hope he sees?
Someone who broke free from all that societal pressure. And when you're not at peace and when you're not happy, nothing around you can go okay.
Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to our first ever episode of Defy the Odds. Today I've got a very special guest, a friend of mine that I admire for her strength. Divya, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Div, before the diagnosis, before the divorce, how was life like for you?
I don't think I remember life before the diagnosis because I was 12.
Wow.
But before the divorce, life was much easier. I think life looked like how you see a perfect family, 2 parents and a kid.
Yeah.
But of course, all of that came at a cost. And I say that because life was easier in terms of navigating finances and navigating chores and dividing work in raising my kid. But that came at the cost of my peace.
Yeah.
So I think that's how I would say life was before my divorce.
When did you first start to sense that something wasn't right with your body? Did you feel pain, or was there pain or a trigger?
It was pain. It was a lot of pain. So I got my first period cycle started when I was 12. The pain very quickly started. But more than the pain, I was going through fainting spells in school. Wouldn't be able to go through PE lessons. I would be very, very lethargic. And during those days when I'm getting my periods or pre-periods, I would be curled up in bed. So it wasn't the normal period pain.
Yeah.
I knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people around me, because endometriosis is also not something everyone knows about. It's not spoken about enough.
Yeah.
And I think everyone around me kept convincing me you're just going through period pains and you're overreacting to the pain that you're going through.
And you were 12 years old then?
I was 12 when it first started.
So did you voice it out to your mom or your sister? How did that?
Yes, my mom and my dad at the time.
Yeah.
And they took me to various doctors here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, one doctor here diagnosed me with appendicitis.
Oh, wow.
So I had my first surgery at 13.
Okay.
And he removed my appendicitis.
Oh, wow.
However, then we went to Singapore, and that's where I found out my appendicitis was healthy. It had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And I was diagnosed with endometriosis.
And were you given any medication or anything at that time?
Yeah, I was put on the birth control pill at 13.
Wow.
Which is a lot for a 13-year-old to I didn't even know what a birth control pill is and what it does.
Yeah.
So that was my first form of medication to treat endometriosis because it's a chronic illness. There is no cure. So you're just doing pain management throughout.
How did that affect you mentally?
Getting diagnosed with endo.
Like the birth control pills as well?
The birth control pills, it screws up with your hormones.
Got it. Yeah.
So you have weight gain, you have acne, you have much more erratic mood swings.
Yeah.
So that affected me that way. But aside from that, I think being 13 and getting diagnosed with endometriosis, the doctor first told me you might not be able to have children.
Wow.
And I know for a 13-year-old girl, you might not be thinking of kids, but when someone tells you up front, hey, you might not be able to have kids, it's a lot. So I remember breaking down at the doctor's office and saying, now what? But there is no cure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back then, when you imagined your life as a wife and a mom, what did you hope that would look like?
Picture perfect.
Yeah.
White picket fence.
Yeah.
I think I always thought I'd be the kind, because I'm so into dancing and music, I thought I'd be the kind of mom who's going to tuck her kids in bed. I always wanted 4.
Yeah.
And then, read them bedtime stories and cook with them and just the fun stuff, like being the soft parent, the good
Yeah.
cop,
Yeah.
essentially. That's how I thought it would be.
I understand.
Yeah.
So now taking you back to the doctor's office when you were diagnosed with endo, did you know what it was? And like,
Yeah.
not at all.
No idea. And funny enough, till today, if I tell anyone I have endometriosis, a lot of people don't know what it actually is.
I understand.
So no, I had no idea what it was. I couldn't understand, I had never heard of it. All I was told by people around me is like, when you get your period, you go through pain.
Yeah.
And honestly, before I got the diagnosis, I thought I was going crazy. I started questioning myself. I was like, am I overreacting to the pain? Is my pain threshold really, really low?
Yeah.
That I'm reacting this way, and all the girls in my class were fine during their period.
Yeah.
But yeah, endo is still not spoken about.
Yeah. Did you have any friends that had endo or that you could talk to?
No. So I remember going to Takashimaya and going to the bookstore and
Yeah.
picking up a book on endometriosis.
Yeah.
Back then we didn't have Instagram.
Yeah.
So influencers were not talking about it. Today, a lot more women are talking about it. There are help clubs and there are all these support groups that I'm in.
Yeah.
So it helps knowing that I'm not alone, but in my direct circle of friends, no. My aunt, however, has it. It is something that could potentially be hereditary.
Understand.
Yeah.
So there were moments that you really felt invisible and misunderstood.
I still do.
Hmm.
I still do. I think back then, in fact, less
Yeah.
than I do now. So, endometriosis, I was diagnosed at 13. I've
Yeah.
had some 13 plus surgeries till date.
Wow.
And having said that, my circle group of friends, in my circle, I'm known to be the sick one. Because every couple of years I'm going in for a surgery. And a lot of the times when I get my periods and it's really bad, I have to go to the hospital to get an IV bag just for the painkillers. Knowing and being labeled as the sick one makes you feel tiny. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's the way I would describe it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because endo is a part of me, yes, but it's a very little part of me.
Yeah.
But when you're labeled this way,
Yeah.
or when constantly your friends have reaction like, oh my god, another surgery? Seriously, what's going on this time? Are you in the hospital again? And
Yeah.
why? And when they say these things, it almost makes me feel like they look at me and all they see is the sick girl.
Hmm.
And I'm much more than that. That's
course.
a very little part
Yeah.
of my life.
Yeah. I think if we were supposed to speak about labels, it's such a topic that it kind of hurts, right? Like, again, even talking a little bit about myself
Yes.
and the fact that I have MS and I've been labeled, and like, even as people that are divorced, labels can not only be disability,
Right.
And that's just the way the world unfortunately sees us.
Yeah.
And of course, there's so much more to us than these labels. But yeah, I feel like I want to talk a little bit about judgment.
Yes.
And I'm sure that how has that been for you in terms of judgment? Have you felt a lot of being misjudged by a lot of people?
Yes, I
around your
still do.
surroundings? Yeah.
I think I still do. The label of being divorced doesn't go anywhere. That's the first thing people think
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, more so here. I think the Sindhi community is quite conscious of these things,
Yeah.
whether you're divorced. Your relationship status, like, it matters a lot.
Yeah.
So, how do I feel about it? It sucks. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
I think I have learned through the years, it's either I am going to make them happy or I'm going to live my life on my terms.
For sure.
So I've reached a point where I'm like, it's okay if you want to label me as, well, in Hindi they say besharam, like someone who's shameless. I have been called someone who breaks a family apart because I chose to move out of my in-laws' place.
Yeah.
I have been called a lot of things in regards to being divorced, in regards to being a single mom, right?
Yeah.
If I keep listening to these people, I'm going to have to stop living because it is going to make me lock myself up in a room.
Yeah.
So to me, I think everyone's entitled to their opinions.
100%. Yeah.
that's your opinion.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it true.
For sure.
I try my level best not to let it affect me. Of course, there are days that, especially when it comes from people who you're close to or you think support you.
Yeah.
And then you hear them say something and you're like, wait,
it's
what?
like unexpected.
Yeah. So, yeah, but I think I can't run away from the labels.
Yeah.
But to me, it's a projection of their thought process, not mine.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
So this seems like there's a lot of silent battles that you had to face on your own by yourself. Like, how did you go through it? You know, like, what did you have a therapy, or was there something that you reached out to? Like let's say, I'll give you an example of myself.
Yeah.
Like, I love lifting weights. That is one of my forms of therapy.
Yeah.
So what was it for you besides talking, to people?
Definitely went through therapy.
Yeah.
I did theta healing.
Yeah.
I did decoding I had pre-cancer at some point.
Yeah.
So I did decoding as well. So it's a mix of everything.
Yeah.
But how I personally deal with it is either I write,
Yeah.
I dance, or I have a karaoke night while I'm singing. So it's one of these three things.
Yeah.
But a lot of people helped.
Yeah.
A lot of therapists
Yeah.
did. I think without them I wouldn't be here, because it got me to a point where I was thinking of suicide. And I think when you don't have anyone around you, close to you, who's divorced, who's a single mom, you kind of don't have anyone to talk to and understand and can relate.
Yeah, for sure.
And so it's one thing to watch influencers. They're still not people, they're not real it's not someone I know, not someone who can pick up the phone. So I think the only reason I didn't end up taking action over my dark thoughts is knowing that I have a son that I have to live for, and I have no choice but to pull through, because this guy has no one else but me.
Yeah.
So
like when you're because even therapy is such a stigma. I feel
It is.
If you tell anyone you're talking to a therapist, but I see it's a lot better now.
It is.
I think back in the day, 8 to 9 years ago, when I was facing crippling anxiety, I went to a therapist. I was speaking to her a lot, and even when I say anything to my friends or whoever it may be, it's not so common to talk to a therapist. But I'm really glad that a lot of people believe in talking and going to therapy, because it really helps.
I think people often look at it as a sign of weakness.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you have to be crazy to be looking for help mentally.
Yeah.
And that's not the case. I think everybody should go to therapy, because all of us have things that, all of us have baggage. All of us have things that we need to process. And a lot of the times, talking to your friends is one thing. Talking to your therapist, that's when she or he will be able to identify what you are doing wrong.
Yeah.
And quite possibly how to change your perspective on things to help you cope.
Yeah.
I don't think a friend can do that. Yeah.
Your support system throughout that time, who were they? And suicide is something very deep that I felt myself too with MS. And I had one very good friend that I used to always reach out to, because I don't know, you really felt you're at the end of everything, especially if you're physically feeling it too, not only mentally. You feel like I can't really do anything anymore. So who were they at that time?
My friends in Hong Kong, and my mom and my sister. I think my sister's been my absolute backbone till today.
That's awesome.
I call her my co-parent, because she really is. And my friends in Hong Kong, for sure. I have been friends with them since I was 17. 37, so 20 years. Really, couldn't have done it without them. After every court hearing, I'd drop them a text and be like, hey, I need a drink. And we'd go to 7-Eleven or sit by the beach in Hong Kong and just have a drink. And they really did help me.
So when everything started to change, the pain, the divorce, the uncertainty, what was the hardest part you had to face?
During the divorce process? Dealing with heartbreak while having to be okay for my kid. I could not break down in front of him. I could not show him that I was shattered. I had to be okay. So And I think people don't realize when you go through a breakup and when you want to listen to a sad song and you want to cry, you can't do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do any of that. I had to wait for him to go to bed, or I had to wait to go in the shower and to just scream and cry.
Yeah.
I think that also kind of prolonged the healing process.
Yeah.
Because I had to keep being okay. I had to keep going for him. I think that's that kind of pain.
Yeah.
I don't think can compare to anything. Just the fact that you're really shattered inside, but on the outside you have to be a full-time mom and still be like, everything's great.
Yeah. You have to be strong for him.
Yeah.
So what did healing look for you back then? You know, when you were going through all this, what did it look like for you?
Honestly, John, more than learning things, more than listening, it was a lot of unlearning. I think there's a mindset that we grew up in South Asian household, right?
Yeah.
Especially for girls, I don't know how it is for men, but for girls from a very young age, it's like, oh, once you get married, that is your home.
Yeah.
The word divorce should not be there.
Yeah.
So I think my healing journey there was a lot of unlearning.
Okay.
I had to unlearn the conditions that was put to me.
Yeah.
Maybe even conditions that was unsaid. It was just almost a given. You understood that these are your responsibilities, these are things you are supposed to do or expected out of you.
Yeah.
I had to look back and I had to, one, figure out who I was.
Yeah.
Two, unlearn all the things that didn't sit well with me. And that was a battle in itself, right? Because
For sure.
my family still have a very Indian mindset and a little orthodox and stuff like that. So breaking away from that, I think those two things were a huge part of my healing. Then of course constantly being very aware that when I slip into, again, a very dark space, to make sure I call my therapist and not to let my thoughts just sit there and
If you could elaborate about the unlearning, could you give me examples of what you were unlearning?
Okay, small thing is here more than in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
When you get married, you are to live with your in-laws.
Okay.
It's a given, and if you then break away from that and you ask to live in a different house or anything like that, that means you're breaking the family. You're taking their son away from them.
Okay.
Logically, when I got married, I left my parents.
Yeah.
Right? So I could not understand these things.
Yeah.
At 24, I didn't question it because everyone around me was doing it.
Yeah.
But walking out of the divorce, I was like, hey, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Why are we okay with this?
Yeah.
Why are we okay with the dowry system? Why are we okay just saying yes? There is such a fundamental belief in the Indian society is that adjustment equals love, sacrifice equals love.
Yeah.
Love is none of those things. Yes, there are adjustments. Of course there are.
Yeah.
But sacrifice does not equal love. You're supposed to stay silent.
Yeah.
Sacrifice your happiness, your peace. That means you love your spouse. But the moment you voice out something,
Then
you weren't taught manners. There are all these small things that I think we need to really question ourselves, and everyone, to each own, right? Like, I don't believe in that concept. I have unlearned a lot.
Yeah.
But I think there are people out there who are like, no, this is how it's supposed to be, and I'm okay with it, then okay, great for you.
Of course.
Yeah.
If they feel that it's fine for them, then
It's okay. Yeah.
So that's that's a major thing that...
There's a lot more in that, but there was a lot of unlearning. A lot of unlearning. I had to, I think, build that confidence in myself that my self-worth is not attached to my relationship status.
For sure.
It's not attached to the fact that I'm divorced, the fact that I don't have a husband, and the fact that I'm a single mom. That took a lot. Because a lot of people around me kept saying, you're going to land up alone. No one's going to be by your side. You're not going to find a partner.
Yeah.
No one's going to want to date a single mom who has a kid. But the truth is, I'd rather be a single mom without a partner than be in a place where I'm not happy.
Of course.
So I think that was, again, another thing where I had to fight a lot of, even my cousins.
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to do this? You're going to land up alone.
Yeah.
you're destroying your life. Yeah.
When we go back to that point, you must have faced a lot of fear within yourself.
Yes.
Because a lot of people question your decision, and you were also thinking twice, or
Yeah.
I don't really know how many times. But
Yeah.
how did you manage that overwhelming sense of fear to like, this is what I want to do. I'm that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I just had to sacrifice myself and my peace and my happiness, I think there is a high possibility I could have continued doing it.
Yeah.
However, at that time, Arnif was 6 or 5.
Yeah.
To me, raising a child in a toxic household is a no-no. Me not being happy, my ex-spouse not being happy,
Yeah.
a lot of arguments happening affects my child.
Yeah.
And that turning point for me was that, one, I don't want my child to ever think this is what a marriage should look like. I don't want my child to ever think this is what love looks like. I don't want my child to ever think that if you're unhappy, you're supposed to just dodge the bike, like swallow that pill and just stay in there,
Yeah.
just because people expect you to.
Yeah.
Those same people who expected me to carry on that marriage, they're not around now to pay my bills.
Yeah.
They're not going through my life.
Of course. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I think the turning point was that. It was looking at my kid and saying,
Yeah.
you're not going to be in this situation. I am not going to cause you trauma.
Yeah.
I am not going to have you grow up and you go to your therapist and
Yeah.
tell your therapist, hey, this is what my parents did,
Yeah.
and this is what marriage should look like for me.
Yeah.
So I think the driving force was definitely my kid.
Of course.
Yeah.
So how did you manage the financial pressure? Because at that point, you probably felt like everything is on you.
Yeah.
How did you deal with that?
I didn't.
Yeah.
At the time, I didn't.
Yeah.
It was during COVID.
Okay.
So my mom and my sister lives in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
My mom said, listen, back up.
Yeah.
Arnif was going through online school at the time.
Okay.
So she was like, pack up, come live with us, and you take a break from Jakarta.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, during my divorce process, I was not coping with it very well.
Yeah.
And so she was like, listen, why don't you just settle back here?
Yeah.
And let's just figure it out.
Yeah.
So, no, at the time I had no idea how I would have done it.
Yeah.
My mom really, really, really took that on her
Yeah.
and said, it's okay, like I'll cover his school fees and I'll cover these things until
Yeah.
you can get back on your feet. And
It's amazing.
today I am back on my feet and today I am doing it all by myself.
That's
so,
amazing.
yeah.
How do you feel?
I never thought I could do it, John.
Yeah.
Never thought I could do it. I'm not in a place where I'd say I want to be yet.
Yeah.
Because I want to get to a point where if I want to go on vacation or if I want to buy something, I don't have to think twice.
Of course. Yeah.
But I know I'll get there.
Of course you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So when Arnaf looks at you now,
Yeah.
what do you hope he sees?
Someone who broke free
Yeah.
from all the societal pressure. And someone who refuses to confine in that box that everyone wants to put us in.
Yeah.
And I think one thing I hope, I keep saying this to him and I hope he remembers this, is that you come first. And when you're not at peace and when you're not happy, nothing around you can go okay. Like everything's going to shatter.
Yeah.
And know that your self-worth, only you can, like, if you don't value yourself, no one else is going to.
Yeah.
So if you're going to put yourself in a place where I allow you to make me unhappy and I keep continuing the situation, I'm part of the problem.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of it has to do with like self-worth and respecting yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does self-worth and self-love mean to you today after everything you faced?
Self-worth. I think back then I was a people pleaser.
Yeah.
Never say no to
I mean,
people.
like a lot of people, like,
Yeah. I think there is still that a little part of me.
course, of course.
Like whenever I go out with my friends and they say,
Yeah.
where do you want to go? I'm like, anywhere. What do you want to eat? Anything.
Yeah.
Right? Like I never say what I want. But I've drawn very hard boundaries on things. I don't anymore put myself in places or situations where, let's say fundamentally, I don't like a person.
Yeah.
I can respect you,
Yeah.
but I am not going to be forced to be friends with this person. And I'm okay losing people. I'm okay cutting people out.
Yeah.
I know what I bring to the table.
Yeah.
And if you don't see that,
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
We can coexist and just, I think that's something that I've really, really learned through the process.
So to you, boundaries means cutting people off when they don't align with you? Or what do you feel boundaries
I
mean?
think everyone is entitled to their own opinions,
Of course,
right?
yeah.
However, when someone's fundamentally
Yeah.
not a good person,
Yeah.
that's where I'm like, I'm not gaining anything by hanging out with you.
For sure, yeah.
I'm going to walk out of this and be filled with all this negative aura.
Yeah.
I'd rather not. And I don't need to be enemies with you.
Yeah.
I can just take a step back
Yeah.
and we can coexist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. So, in closing, there may be a lot of people that are going through pain and they don't speak about it.
Yeah.
They're just hanging by the thread.
Yeah.
Maybe similar situations, maybe not similar situations. What message do you have for them?
With chronic illness?
Chronic illness, maybe divorce, being a single mom.
When it comes to chronic illness, I think you know your body best.
Yeah.
If you feel something's wrong, don't stop looking for answers. Even if the first doctor says nothing, second doctor, keep going. Because
Yeah.
you know your body.
For sure.
You know when something's wrong.
Yeah.
Dealing with it, I think being in support groups helps. Just knowing and hearing other people's experiences,
Yeah.
I think that helps a lot. And create a safe space for yourself.
Yeah.
If you feel your friends are being supportive, share. If you feel they're not, don't. Like, there are a lot of the times that I need to go to the hospital and stuff. I don't share those things because
Yeah.
I don't want to hear the word, oh my God, again.
Yeah.
So I tend to just,
Yeah.
leave that be. With divorce, if anyone's contemplating it,
Mm.
I think if you're contemplating it, that something's already wrong,
Mm.
right? I don't think anyone walks into a marriage to walk out of it.
Yeah.
Everyone walks in saying, this is the life I want, this is the life partner I want.
Yeah.
It's hard, and it is absolutely the toughest thing one can do.
Yeah.
However, know that divorce is not the end. It's a chapter,
Yeah.
right? It's the end of one chapter. There is life post it.
Yeah.
If you are unhappy and if you've weighed the pros and cons and fought the battles and gone for couples counseling, done everything you possibly could,
Yeah.
know that walking out is the answer. Because we don't want to lose you in the process,
Mm.
and you could get into a very dark place being unhappy.
Yeah.
We rather have you healthy and out. And I mean, trust me, getting divorced and living in a toxic relationship, getting divorced is, I live my life very peacefully. I go to sleep in peace
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So yeah, please do it. And if you have a kid, know that no kid can flourish in a toxic environment. You are only adding their trauma, and you're showing them such a wrong message as to what marriage and love should look like. You're literally telling them, hey, keep quiet, don't voice out, and you just got to deal with it.
Yeah. And as a single mom.
As a single mom, just keep going,
Yeah.
one day at a time.
For sure.
And when things get heavy, it's okay to lay down that day and not to function that day and to cry.
Yeah.
And you pick up the next day, you try again,
Yeah.
and you know that your child is looking up at you.
Yeah.
You're doing this for him, for her, and hopefully someday, you'll look back and say, hey, this was worth it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Viv, I want to thank you for your time, your story,
Thank
your
you.
honesty. I appreciate it all.
Thank
I
you for
admire your
having me.
strength, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank
all the
you.
peace and happiness.
Thank you.
Thank you once again.
Thank you.